Welcome to part 73. Welcome to part 73 of Ready or Not, Here I Come. And this is December the 25th. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 25th. Woo, I'm losing it today. Yes, this is December the 25th, 2024. Oh, I got myself confused on the year and the date. Yesterday was the 24th. Today's the 25th. We just trucking right along. Seems like this month just started and it's already almost over. Anyways, let's jump straight on back in here to Luke 15. And we were talking about the parable where the Lord had told them about the little woman losing her money and calling people together. So let's jump back in there. I'm not going to recap on that. You should have been watching all these parts. If you haven't done that, go back and do that. Likewise, I say to you, there is joy. This is verse 10, 15:10. Likewise, I say to you, there is joy in the presence of angels. There is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repents. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons. You know, I was just thinking about this last night and this morning. Didn't realize I was getting ready to get into that. But I was thinking about this, the prodigal son. The prodigal son. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of my goods that falls to me. And he divided them his living. He divided them his living. And not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. Went and had him a heyday. And when he had spent all there, there arose a mighty famine in the land, and he began to be wanting. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of the country, and he sent him into his field to feed swine. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave to him. And when he came to himself, he said, How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger. This is like us. This is how we are. We leave the Father and we go our way to do what we want. And then we end up destitute with nothing and starving. And doing without. I will rise and go to my Father, and will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you, and no more worthy to be called your son. Make me one of your hired servants. And he arose If this story doesn't get to you, you have not been that prodigal son that has returned and been made a servant. Been glad to be a servant. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck, and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight, and am no more worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet. And bring here the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For my son was dead, and is alive again. He was lost, and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field. And as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, Your brother is come, and your father has killed the fatted calf, because he has received him safe and sound. And he was angry, and would not go in. Therefore came his father out, and entreated him. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve you, neither transgressed I at any time your commandment. And yet you never gave me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as your son was come, which has devoured your living with harlots, you have killed for him the fatted calf. Boy, we have to be careful about that jealousy, don't we? And he said to him, Son, you are ever with me, and all that I have is yours. It was meet that we should make merry, and be glad, for your brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found. And he said also to his disciples, chapter 16, he said also to his disciples, there was a certain rich man, which had a steward, and the same was accused to him that he had wasted his goods. And he called him and said to him, How is it that I hear this of you? Give account of your stewardship, which means management. For you may be no longer steward. Many people say, I wasted what God gave me. No, I invested what God gave me. You might say, how? I invested in the kingdom of heaven. There was people who had needs, and I just gave it to them. That was an investment for heaven. And it caused ripples. When I give to people, I say only to them, but help someone else. When they say they will repay, I say, but no, but help someone else. That's what I would tell them when I had something to give. That's what I still tell if the Lord blesses me and I have something to share. I don't give expecting a return. If you want to do something really great for me, help someone else that's in need. Feed the hungry. Clothe those that are naked. Shelter those that are destitute with nothing. Give someone socks that are barefoot and shoes. Give someone a coat that is cold. Help someone. Feed someone. Don't do it because you want attention for doing it. Do it without anyone knowing, except for the Lord. Yes, I'm telling you that I have done these things, but I'm not giving you an itemized list and to whom that I did them. I'm not doing it for bragging's sake. I'm doing it as an example to you. That's why I tell you to do these things. To start a ripple. One simple act of kindness can ripple out into the deepest oceans. And it can affect someone. Trust me, I've been the someone who has been affected. When people are kind to me, it is highly noticed. I'm so used to people smiting me that when just a little kindness comes my way, I am super grateful. The days have been hard. My family was gone. My sister and her family is what remains. And a few aunts. But alas, I am alone. Even in this. Except for the Lord. Why? Because I picked up my cross to follow Him. And many did not like it. But I will continue on in my journey. Going on though, anyway, in Luke 16. He was asking this steward to give account, so verse 16:3. The steward said within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord takes away from me the stewardship. I cannot dig to beg. I am ashamed. I am resolved what to do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, they may receive me into their house. So he called every one of the Lord's debtors to him and said to the first, how much owe you to my Lord? He was trying to collect from them now to try to cover what he had done. How much do you owe the Lord? What do you need to do to cover what you have done? Will the Lord put you out of being a steward for Him? Because He's coming. See you in the next part when I get to get it up. I gotta go to work.